Hi everyone, it's that time of year again. This year I'm going to be doing 2 gift guides as I've done in the past. So the first one is this one, where I'm just going to recommend general books I think will make great Christmas gifts. And then if there's someone in your life that you would like to buy a bookish gift for, but you're struggling to think of something, leave a comment under this video saying, "Dear Jen, there's this person in my life, they like these things, what would you recommend?" And I'll make a second video called something like Dear Jen /Santa, where I give personalized book recommendations. Giving book recommendations at Christmas as a bookseller was one of my favorite things, so I just would like to do that again and also help you out. All of the books that I mentioned today will be linked in the description box down below if you'd like to go find out more too. Before I get into this Christmas gift guide, I wanted to mention something that is related to Christmas that I have already spoken about on Twitter and Instagram, but I wanted to mention it in a video just that I've mentioned it, and then I want to put it down and I want to walk away from it because I found the whole thing just... it's not been a fun time. There is a company in the UK called John Lewis. I think some of you outside of the UK were slightly confused on Instagram and thought that when I said John Lewis that was one man. It isn't, though there is a man on Twitter called John Lewis who keeps on getting all of their ads. But anyway, John Lewis is a big company in the UK. They have department stores and every year they release a Christmas advert and it's become a huge thing. This Christmas advert is... It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And in the past, John Lewis have been accused of plagiarising children's picture books. So they released their 2019 Christmas advert last week, and when I woke up on Thursday morning, I had messages from friends, family, booksellers, people in the industry saying, "Have you seen the John Lewis Christmas advert?" Which I hadn't, so I went online and I watched it, and I was very shocked and yes, so the John Lewis Christmas advert is about a dragon who really wants to make friends with all the local villagers, but everyone's scared of him until one day his best friend, a young girl with red hair, persuades everyone that they should be friends through the magic of Christmas. If you've read my children's picture book, Franklin's Flying Bookshop, you may understand why I was quite shocked and surprised. Franklin's Flying Bookshop is about a dragon called Franklin who really wants to make friends with all the local villagers, but everyone is scared of him until one day his best friend, a young red-haired girl called Luna, persuades them all that they should put aside their differences and be friends, not through the magic of Christmas, but through the power of books. So it has been an interesting past few days. In all honesty, I have hated every second of it. I adore my job. I love creating stories and characters and going into schools and bookshops and book festivals and doing writing workshops with kids and encouraging them to love books as much as I do and encouraging acceptance, which is what Franklin's Flying Bookshop is all about. I hate situations like this, but I would much rather say nothing and just hide away in my house and pretend it's not happening, but I also think it's important to say something, even if that thing is just, "Hey, I noticed these things." So that's what I'm doing. And it's not just me who noticed these similarities in booksellers and friends and family. The Sunday Times published an article this weekend highlighting the similarities between my book and the advert. Chris Vidal covered it in his cartoon in The Guardian this weekend. He has his own experiences with the John Lewis Christmas advert. In 2017, he noticed large similarities between one of his picture books, Mr. Under the Bed, and their advert. And it's not just the advert, it's that they have merchandise, they release a book to go alongside the advert, and it's not about sales either. It's not me sitting here saying, "You should go and buy a copy of Franklin's Flying Bookshop instead." Of course, I would love you to purchase a copy of Franklin's Flying Bookshop. I would always say that, but not because of the similarities between these two things, but because it's a book, now a series of books, there are 3 of them, that I adore with all of my heart. The fact that I'm highlighting the similarities I've noticed between Franklin's Flying Bookshop and this advert is for me an entirely different reason. I just think that it's important to highlight that I have noticed those things. And as I said, to say my bit and then to move on from a situation that I have found, quite frankly, very upsetting and exhausting. So, there we go. Now, I would like to recommend some books for Christmas because this is why you're here. This is a Christmas gift guide. So first off is a title that I read recently and adored. This is Remarkable Creatures by Tracy Chevalier. It's one of her older backlist titles. It came out in 2009. It's about Mary Anning, who was instrumental at the beginning of the 19th century in finding dinosaur fossils in Lyme Regis, and it's about her relationship with Elizabeth Philpotts. It's got William Buckland in here. It's just so wonderful. There's also a film coming out of this next year with Saoirse Ronan and Kate Winslet, I think. So if you want to read it before going to see the film, I'm not sure that it's based on this book, but it's definitely based on the real lives of these people. Then I think this would make a great gift. But if you're worried that there's someone in your life who really likes Tracy Chevalier and may already have read that, because as I said, it's one of her backlist titles, then I suggest gifting them her most recent book, which is called A Single Thread. And it is about Violet Speedwell, who's a woman after the First World War who's trying to find her feet, trying to find her voice, and she finds it in this collection of women who are making kneelers for Winchester Cathedral. And like all of her books, you learn so much about the period that it's set in, whilst never feeling as though all this information has just been thrown at you. It's seamlessly woven into the plot. I always learn so much from her books whilst just having a fabulous time reading them because they're so wonderful. If there's someone in your life who really likes Tracy Chevalier's writing, then I would also recommend Persephone Books, who I have mentioned many times before. They're a wonderful publisher and bookshop in Bloomsbury. I've apparently forgotten to pick one up to show you, so I'll insert a picture here. They reissue classics mainly written by women, and they are delightful, cozy reads, and they do gift vouchers, and I've purchased this for family members before. You can get 3 and they will send you the voucher along with their catalogue, and your friend or family member can have fun going through the catalogue, choosing the books that they would like to purchase. They also don't have to purchase all 3 at once. They can space them out through the year, and I just think it's a really, really lovely present. In the past, I have mentioned Kezia Sinclair's book, The Secret Lives of Colour, which is a non-fiction book all about colours and dyes and how colours got their names and colours in folklore, which is a wonderful book. So I thought I would mention her newest one, which is called The Golden Thread, and this is about the history of fabric, how fabric has been made, how it's been made in various places around the world, and the narratives that go with that fabric, how that fabric has been used, the stories that that fabric has to tell. Her books are just wonderful coffee table books. In the past, I have mentioned Vintage Classics. They are just so amazing when it comes to doing gift sets of books. I've mentioned their Bronte series before. They did a Russian classics set. They've done others. This year they brought out these, which they very kindly sent to me. So this is their Japanese classics set, and they have 5 different books in this series, all with stunning covers, which are illustrated by Yuko Shimizu. They have 5, as I said, and I've read 2 of them already. So there's The Housekeeper and The Professor by Yoko Ogawa, which is translated by Stephen Schneider. And then we have Murakami's The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, which is translated by Jay Rubin. And these have beautiful end papers in them as well. And the other 3 that I haven't read before are Out, which is a novel about a group of women who work in a factory. One of them murders their husband, and then the others help her cover it up. And we've got The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea and the Makioka Sisters, both of which are very well beloved classics in Japan. So I'm very much looking forward to reading those other 3. But as you can see, I think they would make a beautiful gift for somebody because they're absolutely stunning. I was contacted by a German publisher I hadn't heard of before called Homunculus Books, and they asked if they could send me this advent calendar, and I said yes please, because I think it sounds delightful. This is Mr. Holmes' Advent Calendar 24 Solve It Yourself Christmas Crimes, and it stands up on your desk like this, and then every day there is a crime for you to solve, a mystery for you to solve. And I just think this idea is so lovely. I haven't looked at it too closely because I want to solve the mysteries every day with Mr. M, so we're going to do this of an evening. So I think this would be a lovely gift either for yourself or an early Christmas gift for somebody in your life. I think it's adorable. I wanted to mention a non-fiction book called Underland by Robert Macfarlane. This is all about the unseen parts of nature. It's about delving deep into caves, looking at all the things about the earth that we don't know and how that's steeped in folklore. Robert Macfarlane is the author of many books. I've mentioned one of his books in a Christmas gift guide before called The Lost Words, which is illustrated by Jackie Morris and is just absolutely stunning. The way he writes is so poetic. If you like rich text, then It's perfect for a nature lover in your life. I reviewed this for Toast, so I'll link my review down below if you would like to go and find out more. But I think this would make a perfect gift for someone who loves nature. Another non-fiction book I wanted to recommend is The Sky Atlas by Ed Brooke Hitching. Ed is a friend of mine, he is a fantastic author, and this is the third book in his Atlas series. I have recommended his previous 2 books in gift guides in the past 2 years. So the first one was the Phantom Atlas, and it was about maps of places that don't actually exist. The second was the Golden Atlas. This one is the Sky Atlas, and it's all about maps of the sky and how we've thought of other planets, how we've thought of aliens, how we've thought of mythology. It is so beautiful, and it's one of those books that I think would work well for lots of different people, so that's why I particularly wanted to recommend this one. If you have a poetry lover in your life, I would highly recommend getting them a subscription to the Rialto, which is my favourite poetry journal. It's an amazing organisation, plus they are struggling financially at the moment because they recently lost their Arts Council funding. So not only would you be getting them a great present, but you'd also be supporting the Rialto as well. And if you're thinking about buying a book for someone, but you're worried that they may already have that book, buying a journal is a great solution, because they definitely don't have that because it hasn't been published yet. I have a few books here for younger readers. This one is called We Are Artists, Women Who Made Their Mark on the World. Thames and Hudson, who published this, also brought out a book, I think it was last year, with David Hockney, which was about art for kids. So this is in a similar vein, but it's focused on female artists. I can't emphasize enough how much I would have loved this book as a kid. Day and Night Rainforest, Explore the World Around the Clock. This is a book where, let's see if I can do this elegantly. Okay, I'm not going to fold it all the way, but it folds out very, very far. You can spy lots of different things in the rainforest in this book, learn lots of different facts. The best thing about this book, some of the pages glow in the dark, so you can charge it up and then see the rainforest at night. I mean, best book ever, or what? I've got 2 final books here that I would like to mention. One of them I've already mentioned before, but I want to mention again because I love it, and that is The Fairy Tale Princess. And the reason that I love this book so much is because it's illustrated, it's got photographs in it of sculptures made by Sue Blackwell, and she makes the most incredible book sculptures. So if you're looking for a beautiful fairy tale book to add to your shelf or to gift to somebody else, then this one is pretty special. And then the one that I have not mentioned before is this one here, which I think is really fun, and it's called Prudence and Her Amazing Adventure by Charlotte Gestaut. This is about a young girl called Prudence. Her parents really want her to leave the house, well, with them. They're trying to get her to get ready to leave, to put on her shoes and all of that. So the first few pages is just basically text of them shouting up the stairs, telling her to get ready. And then the rest of the book is a silent picture book showing where Prudence, I'm going to do a cutaway because it's hard to hold up and show you, but the rest of the book is a silent book showing all the things that Prudence is imagining. She's in her own world. She's thinking about being under the sea, being in rainforests. It's so great. It's a beautiful book showing a child's imagination. Something I particularly love about this book is that in the scenes where she's under the sea, they've used a different kind of paper, which gives it extra atmosphere, and I think is really, really wonderful. Those are all the books that I wanted to mention today. I will link them all in the description box down below. If you are stuck for a bookish gift for somebody, please let me know in a comment, and I will try and help you out in a video that I will film in the next 10 days or so. Thank you also for listening to the bit at the beginning of this video as well. I really appreciate it. I hope you're all having a great week, and I'll speak to you very soon. Lots of bookish love.